Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the video. Today's vehicle is a 2006 Honda Odyssey, and as you can imagine, with this being a minivan, the inside of this thing is a complete mess. All right, so I'm just gonna be doing the interior on this van today, but looking around, and you can see that everywhere you look, it's really dirty, especially the carpets where there are so many stains that I'm honestly just getting excited looking at all of them. And then the seats are dirty and grimy all over, as you would expect in a van. And now just before we jump into the video, guys, take a quick second and subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos like this. All right, so you guys can see I've got my work cut out for me on this one. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so as I get started on the van here, the very first thing to do is remove these second row seats. And the nice thing about vans is how easy and quick I can get them out of here. Then I'll get the ridiculous amount of floor mats out as well and put those off to the side too. So as I start to vacuum here, I already know I'm going to be cleaning the carpets later. But as I vacuum, I'm also getting a good sense of just how dirty things are in here and where all the grime is. So I'm already planning out in my head exactly how I'm going to attack each area, and I can see numerous areas already where I'm going to be busting out the steamer for. Now I figured this is a good time to remind you guys that if you want to see sneak peeks of upcoming videos, behind the scenes stuff, or just want to say hey, you should give me a follow over on Instagram, as that's definitely the best place to stay up to date on things. So as I moved throughout the vehicle today, I was definitely amazed at all the storage compartments this van had. And believe it or not, but this was the first van I've had in before, as I typically see a ton of trucks and SUVs. So it's kind of nice to see something that wasn't a Silverado, but at the same time, these vehicles are so much more work than they appear from the outside. So I'm using the carpet brush here to try to lift up any remaining dirt from the carpets before I get started with the extractor, and then I'll just quickly go over it all with the vacuum again. Moving up front, and I'm going around with a detail brush and the vacuum and getting down into all the cracks and the crevices to get any dirt or dust that's hiding in those. And you might notice that I'm using a different type of brush here, and that's because my other brushes are starting to get really worn down. And so I decided to give these Detail Factory brushes a try. And so far I am really impressed with the quality of them. If If you guys want to check these out, I've got the link to them on Amazon down in the description, so feel free to give them a look if you guys are interested. All right, so with the vacuuming done, I can start steaming up this van and getting the grime out of those seat anchor points. So after loosening things up with the steamer, I'll agitate with a detail brush and then wipe things clean with a dry microfiber towel. And now since these are just secured by a couple of screws, I figured I may as well take the covers off to make things a bit easier on myself. And I'm definitely glad that I did, because there was a fair bit of crud hiding underneath that I would have otherwise missed. So the steamer that I'm using is a McCulloch MC 1375, and not only is it super fun to use, it's such a versatile tool as it comes with lots of different attachments, so you can use it all over the vehicle or even inside the house too, as it comes with mop attachments as well. It's such a solid little machine that I would highly recommend you guys check it out. They aren't super expensive, so feel free to have a look. The link is in the description below. Moving to the rear floor vent area, and after removing the cover, I found a whole bunch of dirt that I needed to vacuum up before I could get this area all cleaned up with the steamer. All right, so finally moving on to these dirty carpets, and I decided to start down in the trunk area here so that it had time to fully dry out before I folded the third row seats back down into there. So getting some carpet solution sprayed on here and then agitated with the drill brush to help lift and suspend whatever dirt or grime is down in those fibers. And as I start making the first few passes here, you can definitely see those stains are starting to come out. And now, because this was one of the larger and more prominent stains in the vehicle, and it won't just be covered up with a floor mat, I wanted to get it looking as good as I possibly could. Even though after talking to the owner beforehand, he said he bought the van like this, so these stains are unidentified and they've been here for a really long time. So I'm not expecting perfection, but I'll do everything I can to get them looking presentable. So I still felt I could do a little bit better on the stain, so I went over it with the steamer and the brush attachment and did manage to pull a bit more of it out. So going over the area with that large yellowy spot, and I was pretty certain that this was the result of some bleach being spilled in here by the previous owners, and that definitely looks to be the case. So it's kind of unfortunate that I couldn't do anything for that spot, but really sometimes there's only so much you can do if things are already damaged. Moving on to the stains under the second row driver's side seat. And once I start with the drill brush, you can see it's already turning a pretty nasty color, which is good because it means the stain is probably able to be removed. But working around a seat anchor point is a little bit challenging as there are tiny little flaps of carpet that the extractor can't quite reach to. So fortunately I was able to get my finger underneath them and pull them up so I could get the extractor on them and get them nice and clean. And if you guys don't know, the extractor I'm using here is a Bissell Spot Clean Professional. And even though I probably mention this in every video, but that's because I love this thing so much. I am in no way sponsored by Bissell to give them such high praise. I just really think it's an awesome little machine. Quality that you get for the price is incredible, and it really makes cleaning carpets really fun and easy. I've got the link to this and almost every other product and tool I use in the description below, so feel free to check those out. I would highly recommend giving this unit a look. So same as the other anchor point, this section here was a bit challenging even just to get the drill brush on. So fortunately that drill brush kit comes with a small brush as well. It was perfect for getting down into those areas where the stains were the worst. So what I'm doing here is just sucking up any of the solution that found its way underneath the carpet here by just removing the attachment and using the end of the hose. Alright, so moving to the pedals, and after spraying on some 4:1 APC, I'm using the steamer with the brush attachment to quickly get these things clean. So definitely one of the dirtiest areas of the carpet was the driver's footrest, and you can see it's made the solution look like chocolate milk. So knowing how dirty it is, I'll make sure to make lots and lots of passes where I keep spraying hot water down to ensure I can get as much of that dirt out of there as possible. Alright, so moving on to the interior panels, and overall these weren't in super bad shape, though there were definitely some grimy spots, but using some all-purpose cleaner diluted 10:1 and a damp microfiber towel makes really quick work of any dirty areas, and will leave the surface prepped and ready to be UV protected later. So since I've got the second row seats out, it just makes sense to clean and condition the leather while these are outside of the vehicle, as I can see what I'm doing so much better, but it also is just easier to work around them as I've got more room. Seats like this are where the horsehair brush comes in really handy, as the seams were super dirty and full of gunk that didn't come out when I vacuumed. So the brush is able to get that all loosened, and then I just wipe it all clean with a dry microfiber towel. So now that the entire interior is clean, I'll apply my favorite product, which is 303's Aerospace Protectant, and it's going to leave all the interior trim looking amazing and with a non-slippery and matte finish when it dries. If you guys happen to be like me and always find a way to drop your towels or applicator pads, just go grab a fresh one. You don't want to be rubbing any dirt it may have picked up all over the vehicle. It's frustrating, I know, but it's the smart thing to do. Now with a couple of these floor mats having carpeted inserts, it was easiest to just pressure wash them as they were stuffed full of dirt, and the pressure washer is able to blast that out in a fraction of the time compared to using the extractor on them. Moving on to the glass, and I'll spray some Meguiar's D120 glass cleaner onto the waffle weave towel first, and then wipe down the windows. And if you guys have trouble with streaks when you clean glass, definitely look into using a waffle weave towel, because they won't leave streaks or lint behind. In my opinion, they're the secret to getting streak-free glass. Now, provided of course you're using a quality glass cleaner along with it. Now just before I get everything put back in here, I'll do a super quick final vacuum to get any of the dirt or debris that found its way into the vehicle, as I was in and out of here so many times over the course of the day. Alright guys, so you've all been waiting to see how nasty the water was from this van, and you're not going to be disappointed. I am curious though which one you guys thought was dirtier, so go ahead and comment either Home Depot or Rona down below. Alright guys, and 10 hours later, I'm finally done with this minivan. That was an insane amount of work. There's so much surface area in a minivan between all the compartments and the carpets. Wow. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, Please make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.